Okay, the next topic is the integrative functions of the brain. This got to do with functions that occupy most of the brain, such as cognition, memory, and emotions, and sleep. Sleep cannot be studied because, obviously we are sleeping, so there's no way we can communicate what's going on. For that reason, we're going to use an electroencephalogram. Electrodes in the scalp capture the electrical activity in waves. Based on that, you can see here that we have different waves when we are awake, then when we are becoming drowsy, like the sleep, deep sleep, and REM, which is rapid eye movement. Cognition is all the mental processes that we're going to use in order to know something, to understand and to acquire knowledge. Around like 80% of the brain is used to achieve cognition. When we have problems in the brain, some areas of this cognition are going to be affected. Memory, short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory is from seconds to hours. So maybe something that you heard today in class, you will still remember it tomorrow. And then long-term memory, the one that is already in your brain, such as your name, you will never going to forget that. And also there are parts from the limbic system that are going to be important in the memory. And one of them is hippocampus. When we were talking about the limbic system, we said the hippocampus is very important in memory. Most of the memories and things that we learn are associated a lot of times with emotions. You smell something, for example, turkey and gravy. It brings memories to your head about Thanksgiving, but it's not just blank memories. It also brings emotions such as the love that you have for your family or being together with friends, etc., etc. And we said that the limbic system is also very important in this part because the amygdala is a major component of the limbic system that is involved in emotion. Sensation. If you get bitten by a mosquito, you're going to feel that. But that's not the only sensation that you can get. You have also other areas where you're going to sense, such as in your eyes and your ears. The brain, from the anatomy point of view, we said that this is the frontal lobe, this is the parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. But that's from the anatomy point of view. From the physiological point of view, in other words, by the function that each one of these lobes are going to have, you can see right here that this is the area where we're going to process the information that comes from our eyes. Because this area right here is for vision. Yes, from the anatomy point of view, what is this? This is the occipital lobe. But from the physiological point of view, from the function, from the special senses, this is the visual area. So then you have other areas, such as language, auditory areas. We have them right here, for example, in the temporal area, primary auditory cortex. Sensation that we have in our skin are going to be controlled by the primary somatosensory cortex. So if something in your arm itches, that information will go up to your brain into this area right here. Now you need to scratch it. These neurons will make a synapse with these neurons right here because this one is the primary motor cortex. So you can send the information down through the axons into the muscle so you can scratch it. So this is the primary somatosensory area because this is going to make you feel your skin, for example. And this is the one that is going to be the primary motor cortex because this is going to help you move your muscles. This is the central sulcus, the longest sulcus that we have. So this is going to be the precentral gyra. Precentral gyra is going to be motor. And this is going to be the postcentral gyra. This is going to be sensory. This is called the homunculus. This is just a graphical representation of the number of receptors that we have in our skin. For example, where do you have more receptors, in your hand or in your arms? As you can see here, there's more receptors in your hand. Let's say since you have more receptors, then you have a bigger area in your brain that is going to help you process the information that you receive from your hands compared to, for example, what you have in your forearm. Language. There are two main areas. One of them is Wernicke area and the other one is Broca area because you need to understand language, and the other one is that you should be able to actually speak. So that's why we have two completely different areas. One is to understand and the other one is the ability to talk. Cerebral lateralization. The right hemisphere and the left hemisphere is not that one of them is more dominant than other, but rather one of them is more specialized in certain things compared to the other. Okay, some people are very good at math, for example, because one side is very specialized on that, but some other ones are singers, right? And they like to sing and they compose music, for example, and they have the other area of the brain more specialized on that.